and welcome back to another session on grammar and usage. Today we will begin with anomalous finites. Now, anomalous means irregular. This term refers to the irregular finite verbs, or we have 24 of them in English, and they are is, am, are, was, were, has, had, do, does, did, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought, need, dare, used. You can probably see that these are auxiliary verbs. Some of them are principal verbs as well, like for instance, need, dare, and used. They are principal verbs or main verbs. As auxiliaries, their function is to help principal verbs to perform their tenses and moods. As anomalous finites, they have other functions also. Anomalous finites are irregular. They do not form past tense by their addition of ed, d, or t, but by changing their root verb. Some anomalous finites have no past tense at all. These irregular verbs are different from other finite verbs in many respects, and hence they are called anomalous finites. The most obvious difference between anomalous finites and other finites is that they can be used with the construction of nt, that is the negative form, which is the short form of not. It isn't true. It is not true. We aren't going anywhere. We are not going anywhere, etc. Of the 24 anomalous finites, the forms be, have, do, need, dare are sometimes used as principal verbs. Principal verbs, main verbs. And sometimes they are also used as auxiliaries, like to be, have, do. They are used as auxiliaries and also as principal verbs. The remaining of them, that is the rest of the verbs, the remaining of the 24 finites other than be, have, do, need, dare, they are always used as auxiliaries. So what are the functions or the use of anomalous finites? We use them to make negative sentences. They can be shortened using the nt form. In the affirmative sentence, they do not contain, or if the affirmative sentence do not contain an anomalous finites, the auxiliary do and its form are used to make questions. For example, he killed the spider. Did he kill the spider? They make good cheese. Do they make good cheese? And so on. So, anomalous finites are the only verbs in English, as I told you earlier, which can form their negatives by the simple addition of not. Now, look at the slide. He will come. He will not come. He came. He did not come. It is not. He came not. Can I do it? No, you can't. Should I take it? No, you shouldn't. He took the medicine. He did not take the medicine. And not, he took not the medicine. Anomalous finites are also the only verbs that can be used with the shortened form of not. We have already discussed this. To form questions, a question is usually formed by putting the anomalous finite before the subject of the sentence. He is a good singer. Is he a good singer? They have won the race. Have they won the race? The cat will kill the mouse. Will the cat kill the mouse? If the affirmative sentence do not contain an anomalous finite, the auxiliary do and its forms are used to make questions. For instance, he killed the spider. Did he kill the spider? And not, killed he the spider? They went to Beijing. Did they go to Beijing? He fell off the ladder. Did he fall off the ladder? They make good cheese. Do they make good cheese? She likes ice cream. Does she like ice cream? Now, in order to form the negative questions, the anomalous finites are used to form, or they are used in this manner to form the negative questions. He does not like it. Does he not like it? Or doesn't he like it? They do not eat meat. Do they not eat meat? Or don't they eat meat? She did not touch it. Did she not touch it? Didn't she touch it? Now we shall have an exciting, more exciting, the most exciting part of the study. Degrees of comparison. Most adjective and adverbs have different forms to show degree of comparison. Comparison means examining things in order to see in what ways they are similar. We can compare one thing with another. For instance, this car is faster than that car. Petrol is more expensive than diesel. We use comparisons in our daily conversations as well. We use adjectives and adverbs to compare. There are three types of degree of comparison, and they are the positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. In positive degree, Tom is a tall boy. In this sentence, the word tall is an adjective telling us how Tom is. There is no other person or thing in this sentence used to compare Tom with. This is called a positive degree. Comparative degree. Tom is taller than his sister. In this sentence, the word taller is an adjective used to compare the tallness of these two persons. This comparison is called comparative degree. Superlative degree. Say, the blue whale is the largest of all animals. In this sentence, the word the largest is an adjective used to compare the largest of the blue whale and to tell us that the blue whale has the most quality of largeness. This comparison is called a superlative degree. If we are to use the other example of Tom, then we could say Tom is the tallest in his family. To form a superlative adjective, we must add est to it and also the article before if it is a one-syllable word. Example: short, the shortest; nice, the nicest. And if it is a multi-syllable word and a participle adjective, you must add most. The most. Difficult would be the most difficult. Interesting, the most interesting. Loved, the most loved. Now what about adverbs? The same rules apply here as well. For one-syllable word such as fast, late, early, these are all adverbs. They take the er or the est form. He speaks faster than me. He speaks the fastest among all my friends. If it is a multisyllable word, or if it is a multisyllable adverb, which means the ones ending in ly, it takes more and most. Beautifully. She draws most beautifully, or she draws more beautifully than me. She draws most beautifully among all my friends. Of course, there are exceptions. The first one is with a few irregular adjectives and adverbs. For example, good. Good, the comparative form and the superlative forms are better and best. Well, as of good health. I am well, I am good. As of good health, better and best. If you're talking about well, which is the adverb of good, it again takes better and best. So for these three words, good, well, and well as an adverb of good, you would use the word better and best as comparative and superlative degree. Bad, worse, and worst. Badly, again, it is the same, worse and worst. Much and more will turn to more and most. Little will become less and least. Far, there are two possibilities for far, farther and farthest, and further and furthest. Few two-syllable words or two-syllable adjectives can take either the ER or the ESD. That's another exception. It can also take ER or ESD and more and most. For example, quiet. It is a two-syllable word, but you can use quieter, quietest, and also more quiet and most quiet. Both these can be used, even though it is a two-syllable word. The same is the case with other words like polite, simple, friendly, lovely, lively. Another exception is with the one-syllable adjective, you can only use more and most and not ER or ESD. For example, these one-syllable words like ill, real, right, fun. Swimming is more fun than jogging. Though these words are one-syllable word, you cannot use ER or ESD. They are an exception. Ill, real, right, fun. Okay? Now, some special comparatives and superlatives. Older is also a comparative degree. It can be used as a degree of comparison. Older and oldest. It is used for comparison of age outside the family. Next word is elder and eldest. This word is used for comparison of age within the family. Example, Sita is older than Anika. Maria is the oldest girl in the class. Maria and Sita are people outside the family, and their ages compared. So we use older. My elder brother is a teacher. Our eldest sister is in Dubai. Elder brother and elder sister, they are within the family. So we use the word eldest or elder to compare the age. A few other examples would be few, a few, the few. These are used with countable nouns. Few means hardly any or practically none. Few people can speak French in Kerala. A few means some. There are a few mistakes in your paper. The few means not many, but all of them. The few mangoes here are very costly. Little means hardly any or nothing. There is little water in the bucket. A little means some. Example, there is a little wine in the pot. The little means not much, but all of it. Example, the little water in the pot is dirty. These are all comparatives. Now, there are a few usages. There are often times when we go wrong when we use these comparatives. Normally, a comparative is formed by adding the ER and the EST form, but comparatives are also used without using the ER and EST form. Now, few faulty usages are, for instance, this is the most perfect answer. That is incorrect, because with the word perfect we do not use more or most. This is the perfect answer. Next one. They are facing a most extreme situation. That is incorrect. They are facing an extreme situation, because we do not use more or most in front of extreme. There are few boys here. That is an incorrect usage. There are a few boys here, which means some. Some boys. A few means some. The higher you go, cooler you feel is an incorrect way of using the sentence. The correct way is, the higher you go, the cooler you feel. The patient is very serious. There is a little hope. That is an incorrect usage. The patient is very serious. There is little hope, which means there is no hope at all. Of coffee and tea, I prefer the last. That is an incorrect usage. Of coffee and tea, I prefer the latter. That is the way you have to say it. She is my oldest sister is an incorrect usage. She is my eldest sister. He seems very happily in the house. He seems very happy in the house is the correct sentence or the correct usage. He appears to be quite genuinely. That is incorrect. He appears to be quite genuine is the correct one. Her dress looks very prettily is incorrect. Her dress looks very pretty is correct. The weather is coldly. No, the weather is cold. On hearing the sound, I turned quick. On hearing the sound, I turned quickly is the correct usage. The cakes smell sweetly. That is incorrect. The cakes smell sweet. Little, less or least is also used for comparison. Less is the comparative of little, so the usage lesser is incorrect. Less is used as comparative before uncountable nouns. Try these sentences. Correct if they are incorrect. So what you have to do is correct the sentences. Helen was the more beautiful than all other ladies. She is the oldest in the family. In the rain, the eldest house was broken. Cobra is the most largest of all snakes. Don't think you are inferior than her. Reading books is more preferable. India's population is greater than any other country. Of Delhi and Chennai, the last is the more beautiful. The three first chapters of the book are written beautifully. You are to correct these sentences. How would you correct the first one? Helen was the more beautiful than all other ladies. Helen was the most beautiful lady because it is the superlative form. She is the oldest in the family. You are in the person that you are speaking about, the speaker here, is a part of the family, within the family. So you do not use oldest, you use eldest. She is the eldest in the family. In the rain, the eldest house was broken. In the rain, the oldest house was broken. It shows the age of the house. But again, it's not a part of the family, though it's a structure. Cobra is the most largest of all snakes. Cobra is the largest of all snakes. Is the most largest of all snakes. It is. Cobra is the largest because you're not supposed to use double comparatives or double superlatives. Don't think you are inferior than her. Don't think you are inferior to her. The words inferior, senior, superior, they take to and not than. Though it is a comparative degree, you use to instead of than. Reading books is more preferable. Reading books is preferable. You don't have to use more or most or er or est to the word prefer. India's population is greater than that of India's population is greater than any other country. India's population is greater than that of other country. Of Delhi and Chennai, the last is the more beautiful. Of Delhi and Chennai, the latter is the more colorful. The three first chapters of the book are written beautifully. The first three chapters of the book are written beautifully. Now, let's start question tags. Look at the following sentences. You haven't seen this film, have you? Your sister lives in Spain, doesn't she? He can't drive, can he? It is a common practice in conversation to make a statement and ask for a confirmation. Look at the above examples once again. You haven't seen this film, have you? Your sister lives in Spain, doesn't she? He can't drive, can he? Here, have you? Doesn't she? Can he? Are question tags. They can also be called mini questions that we often put at the end of the sentence in spoken English. In question tags, we usually use an auxiliary verb like has, have, was, is, am, will, etc. We use do, does, did for the present and the past simple and the simple past. Karen plays the piano, doesn't she? You didn't lock the door, did you? We can add question tags like isn't it, can you, or didn't you to a statement to make it into a question. Question tags are more common in speaking than writing. We often use question tags when we expect the listener to agree with our statement. In this case, when the statement is positive, we use negative question tag. For example, she is a doctor, isn't she? See, the sentence here, she is a doctor, is in the positive. It's a positive sentence, and therefore the tag should be negative. Isn't she? She is a doctor, so the tag will be in the negative form. Isn't she? Yesterday was so much fun, wasn't it? Yesterday was so much fun. So it is a positive sentence, and therefore the question tag will be negative. Wasn't it? If the statement is negative, we use a positive question tag. He isn't here, is he? He isn't is a negative sentence, and therefore the question tag will be in the positive. Is he? The trains are never on time, are they? The trains are never. It is a negative sentence, and therefore the question tag is in the positive. Are they? Nobody has called for me, have they? Nobody is a negative sentence, and therefore the tag will be in the positive. Have they? So we use a negative tag when the sentence is in the positive, and a positive tag when the sentence is in the negative. Let's look at the formation of the question tags. If there is an auxiliary verb in the statement, we use it to form the question tag. I don't need to finish this today, do I? James is working on that, isn't he? Your parents have retired, haven't they? The phone didn't ring, did it? It was raining that day, wasn't it? Your mom hadn't met me before, had she? Sometimes there is no auxiliary verb in the statement. For example, when the verb in the statement is in the simple present or the simple past and is positive, we use don't or doesn't or didn't. Jenny eats cheese, doesn't she? There is no auxiliary in the statement. No verbs are given to you other than the principal verb or the main verb, and therefore you all you have to do is look at the sentence. If the statement is in the simple present or the simple past and is in the positive, we use don't, doesn't or didn't, because the sentence is in the positive, and therefore the question tag should be in the negative. Jenny eats cheese, doesn't she? Jenny eats cheese is a positive sentence. It is a simple present tense, and therefore we write doesn't she for the tag, because Jenny eats cheese is a positive sentence, and therefore the tag should be in the negative, doesn't she? And if it is a simple present tense or a simple past tense, and the auxiliary verb is not given in the statement other than the principal verb, you don't have the auxiliaries of is or am or are or had. If none of these auxiliary verbs are given to you, you can use do or does. If the sentence is positive, use it in the negative. If the sentence is negative, use it in the positive. If the verb is in the statement is to be verb, and it is in the simple present or the simple past, in this case, the sentences given below, we use to be to make the question tag. The bus stops over there, and what is the to be form? Is the to be form, because it is in the simple present or the simple past. To be, the form of to be is am, is, are. right? So if it is in the simple present, you would use is. The bus stops over there, isn't it? The sentence is in the positive, and therefore the tag should be in the negative. And since it is a to be form, it has to be, you have to use the to be word or the to be tag. That is. The bus stops over there, isn't it? None of those customers were happy, were they? If the verb in the statement is a modal verb, then we use the modal verb to make the question tag. They could hear me, couldn't they? They won't tell anyone, will they? If the main verb or the auxiliary verb in the statement is am, the positive question tag is am I. But the negative question tag is usually aren't I and not am I not. I am never on time, am I? I am never on time is a negative sentence, and therefore the tag should be in the positive, am I? I am going to get an email with the details. I am going to get an email with the details is a positive sentence, and therefore the question tag should be in the negative. But the question tag to make am I into the negative, you cannot use am I not. Instead, you are to use aren't I. We do not say am I not. Instead, we use aren't I. I am late, aren't I? Not I am late, am I not? But there is no harm in beginning the sentence, am I not audible to you? But this is not a question tag. Instead, it is just a question. In the question tag, we shouldn't be using am I not. Instead, you should use aren't I. Now, when you have sentences with let's, we often use shall we. Let's go for a walk, shall we? Let's study for the exam, shall we? After the imperative, we often use will you. Open the door, will you? Keep quiet, will you? And so that's it for the question tags.